This Monday Night Raw was really different. I mean, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match in the main event. By the way, I'm not saying it was bad. In fact, I loved it. I'm just saying it was different. Hello everybody and welcome to Essence of Wrestling. In this video, we're going to be talking about this week's Monday Night Raw. So, join me on this journey. Jey Uso would come out to open up the show with a long entrance yet again. And he got everybody's mama in his ear.
Everybody mama in my ear.
He would talk his shtick, all that, but then 4 letters.
Punk.
Yeah, Punk would come out and that new Punk hoodie. Shit, that looks fresh as hell. Like, man, look at how good that looks. Look at it, the beauty, the freshness. Now, this is the type of merch that I would buy and wear out in public. It just looks fresh. It doesn't look too much wrestling. You get what I mean. It's just clean. You do have the CM Punk, the best in the world. You have the logo of CM Punk on it, but no matter that, it just looks great. Punk comes out, he does the Jey Uso, and then he wonders, how far is Jey willing to go? And Jey says he will do anything. I'm not sure how to feel about this match they have. I'm kind of excited, kind of not. I think it could be a great match, but it's just been overplayed and it's not like something we are really begging to see more because of how great it was. It could be amazing, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily care all that too much. I just hope CM Punk wins the belt and that's it. Judgment Day is then backstage and Dom is asking what will they do about his IC championship match. He needs their help. And JD and Finn are like, brother, you're on your own. You made us lose the tag team championships by throwing us under the bus. That rhymed. But we all know Dom is never really on his own as he picks up the phone and he calls for help. We would then get Penta versus Rusev, the #1 contenders match for the IC championship. And the crowd was so great. I mean, throughout this whole event, throughout this whole entire Monday Night Raw, the crowd was really amazing and I loved it. Match was great as well. I mean, it's these two. What did you expect? What did you expect but amazing hard-hitting match, and that's what this was. However, the Americanos would put an end to this match as they would come in and attack them. Dirty Dom, I guess, called in a great favor. Let's see how that plays out. Rusev and Penta would turn this around, but the match is now out the window. Is Dom even going to have a match at Saturday night's main event? Wait and find out. I just realized I have my glasses on. I should probably take them off. The ring light is too distracting. LA Knight would then be backstage talking about how he did fall short, but how he is the next contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. Again, let's see how that plays out. Because then Bron Breakker talks about not being in the Battle Royal next week, how he's pissed about that, but Paul Heyman is there, and he tells him, there is someone who shares their vision for the championship. And here I thought, oh shit, yeah, Brock Lesnar is joining. But no, probably not, because this was referring to LA Knight, who shares their vision for the World Heavyweight Championship. He wants to take it from them. So Braun has a match with LA Knight later on. We would then get a Asuka vignette, which honestly I couldn't read. It was mostly in Japanese and I don't speak Japanese. So yeah, it was cool, I guess. Judgment Day is then talking with Adam Pearce, talking about how they need to have their rematch for the Tag Team Championship. But they are busy tonight, as Adam Pearce would inform them they have a match against Sheamus, one of them, and JD steps out to the plate. We would then get a match between Nikki Bella and Roxanne Perez, and this was actually a pretty good match. It was pretty decent, if I may say so myself. Nikki Bella was definitely not as bad in the ring as I expected her to be. I guess Roxanne is just someone who could wrestle a broomstick, I guess. Even though I'm pretty sure she wouldn't have been able to make Giant Gonzalez look good either. Watch my WrestleMania 9 review if you want to hear more about that, for whatever reason. But in the end, Roxanne would beat her with the Pop Rocks. Judgment Day would then come up and they would try beating her up, but Stephanie Vaquer would come for the save. And she and Raquel would face off, with Nikki Bella getting herself in the picture as well. I'm really interested, is Nikki Bella going to turn on Stephanie Vaquer? Because that would make a lot of sense, that would really help freshen up Nikki Bella, but it's just the thing with WWE. I think Nikki Bella is going to stay a face because she's a lovable face, she's a legend, she's a Hall of Famer and all that. But still, her being a heel could really work. It could really work. Asuka and Kairi would face off against Lyra backstage. Again, I have no clue what they were saying. It was mostly Japanese. But Bayley would come up and she's really bad at hyping people up.
What if we lose?
Jimmy would then confront Jey Uso about him being a really bad brother, which, I mean, fair enough. He says that if in that match, as they had already decided beforehand, if it came down to just two of them, Jey was scared he'd lose. So that's why he eliminated Jimmy Uso. Bron Breakker versus LA Knight would then happen, and it was a great hard-hitting match. This Raw was just full of amazing matches, like really great matches, and this one was no different. Great match, hard-hitting. I know people have some concern about LA Knight's in-ring ability, but I think he's great, and he made a great match with Bron Breakker here. Bron Breakker would win with one of the greatest spears I have literally ever seen, and yeah, Vision stands tall.
Oh, the kip up! And Breakker! Oh, a spear!
Adam Pearce is then searching for Dirty Dom, and he finds him talking to the Americanos. Dom says that they interfered in the match on their own. I don't know why they did that. Now they are going to have to face off against Penta and Rusev. Right, Adam Pearce? Wrong. It is official. Dirty Dom versus Penta versus Rusev at Saturday night's main event for the Intercontinental Championship. Jey now approaches Jimmy and he says kind of, I guess, he didn't necessarily say it, but was kind of a I'm sorry. It was a man's way of saying I'm sorry without actually saying I'm sorry. And yeah, they are fine now, I guess, somehow. I don't really get the storyline. Are they good or are they not? I'm really confused sometimes. And don't get me wrong, I love the storyline. I just wish it was more clear. Then we would get the match between JD and Sheamus. Again, another great match. Brilliant match. Two amazing workers. Sheamus on one side, who can really throw a hit. And JD, who is probably the best in the company right now, apart from maybe Ilya Dragunov, who takes hits like there's no tomorrow. And yeah, again, that's the perfect formula for a great match. Finn Balor would be outside and he would use the shillelagh. JD does the Spanish fly and 1, 2, 3, Judgment Day and JD McDonough win. Maxine Dupri would then talk to Adam Pearce and Maxine gets the match against Becky, but she says, I'm gonna wait on that. I need to talk to someone first. I'm not sure. I don't want to waste it. And yeah, she's clearly going to be calling Natalia, and I'm not sure how to feel about this. I think they should move on with Maxine's like real fandom she's getting right now. There's so many fans beside her. There's just a huge hype around her, and yet they're putting a stop to it for no reason. Unless this match happens like next week or the week after that, I'm happy with that, but if it doesn't, I'm not so sure. It might just be because Becky, for whatever reason, is not available for a week or two. That's why they're doing this, just to keep Maxine on TV, which, if that is the case, great stuff. But if it isn't, and it's just because they want to put a halt to Maxine Dupri, not necessarily sure how I feel about that. Alexa and Charlotte would then get their interview crashed by the Kabuki Warriors. It seems like a pretty fun future matchup. And also, Kairi is such a treasure. Please don't hurt her, anybody. Please don't. AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are then talking to Adam Pearce about how they want to defend their belts now they're tag team champions, and Judgment Day wants their rematch, so they get it next week. And then we have our main event. Surprisingly, Lyra and Bayley versus Alexa and Charlotte for the Tag Team Women's Championship. Again, this was such a surprise to me. I really didn't expect that. I love it. I love it so damn much because this is a great storyline. It could be really good, and it's really great workers, and it's big names and everything. And I'm just excited for it. It just kind of seemed unbelievable to me at some point, but yeah, I'm really happy for it. Also, at one point, the Fireflies are there, and they're singing something. I couldn't really understand what. I'm really bad at listening to what the crowd says sometimes, but I'm pretty sure they were singing He's Got the Whole World in His Hands. And man, again, weekly or sometimes twice a weekly, Bray Wyatt shout out. Rest in peace, legend. You're the GOAT. Also, what do we call this move, boys?
Oh, by this incredibly inventive Dubliner.
This match did have some flubbed spots, but it was a great match nonetheless. There was this one, also wardrobe malfunction, I guess you could say. There was no like slips or anything, but it was just Lyra Valkyria got her like earring stuck on a piece of Alexa Bliss's clothing, and that really messed up the tempo for a little bit. but they got out of it. It was really great. And Alexa and Charlotte would hit a perfectly synchronized natural selection to win the match and retain the belts.
How much more can they give? In sync!
Kabuki Warriors will then go in and attack them, and the women's tag team division is really, really strong, and I love it so damn much because the women's tag team division was considered dead a couple weeks ago. Like, no kidding, a couple weeks ago, the biggest things we had in the women's tag team division were Piper Niven and Alba Fire, so yeah. Really loving this, really great stuff. Let me know what you thought about last night's Raw. Please make sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, all that. Help me achieve my dreams on my journey to reach 1,000 subscribers and potentially get monetized. Thank you. Arrivederci.